Show us your tips. Daggy and Beaver with you. We've got two big cards from Doomben and Flemington to get stuck into. Beaver, what's going on?
Mate, what's going on? Not a lot, I guess. Just on to another weekend of some good racing, and yeah, hopefully tracks improve a little bit to make sure it's fair and if we don't get too many scratchings.
Yeah, weather's supposed to be. Well, we'll kick off at Doomben on the back of some decent results from Warwick Farm. Bendigo was a bit tougher, but Warwick Farm air to air was an easy watch. Fantastic Nash ride. We got the import up as well, and a few throughout the afternoon there at Warwick Farm. But we'll get to Doomben. Doomben Cup Day, Group 1 Weight for Age Doomben Cup's the feature there, but we're on what's currently a soft track. I believe the weather's getting better though, so I've treated it as getting to, better side of soft, perhaps a dead track in the old there. Hopefully, drains pretty well up at Doomben. Rail moves out to the 2 metre mark, I believe. Yep, there we are, and we're kicking off with the old Queensland Class 6 over a mile to start the day. And I'll let you open the batting. The King in the North, you can have at it.
Yeah, interesting little race here. I've gone for number 2, where Here He Falls. I think it gets its chance on the weekend. Its first 2 runs this preparation have been solid. Really liked last start. Ran home strongly. Only finished half a length behind him in 4th over the 1600 at the sunny coast. And its first up run wasn't too bad as well. In a pretty strong affair. Needed the run. I think it needed the run last start as well. Gets in at 57 again, drawn 8, and I think it can run a good race.
Yeah, similar to the race last week, I sort of found the 2 at the top of the weights here or so, and where he falls at J-Mac and Nash jump on board, where he hit the line quite well, as you said. And I try not to find the unlucky runners too much because they tend to be overbet, but I do think Rousseau should have probably been in the finish last time out. So even luck here in the running line, I think it does the same. Scared of the import coming up. Man behind the money hit a wet track after a decent trial, and perhaps net best back onto dry. Next best back onto the dry there. But yeah, 1 and 2, same as yourself there. The second is a Class 3, 1350. And, well, if it's here, Brigantine, I think, wins this race. It was a complete non-event. First up, played up at the gates. I think it had to be reshod, slow out, and just nothing went right there. I'm hoping does have the outside gate there, but hoping gets into the running line. If it does, I think it's better than these. Hopefully drags across with Hatchet there. We're making the main danger. Sat 3 wide outside lead last week. Quick back up and call it on. Finding an on-pace roll at double figures might be worth thought too. They're kind of the couple there. I've gone around Loves Like a Rock. Just sort of had a pretty much a picnic last time. I think this is a little bit tougher. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think Brigantine looks a standout pick here. Last run, it's got a 0 there, finishing 11th, but it was drawn gate 17 and was second last on the turn and finished 1.7 lengths off the winners. So it wasn't too far away, although it finished in that 11th position. I think this is just a much weaker affair and better luck in running here, and good night.
Lovely. We've got the 2-year-old fillies in action again, race 3, 1200 metre listed race. And I am going to stick here with the Sydney debut winner, Zia. I like the double figures around it. I like the fact it's going to jump straight from the outside gate there, one of the outside gates, under Tim Clark, bounce on pace, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat here. I think it's a lovely bet. Look, Russian Alliance is a winner and a line chaser, but maybe buried back 2 or 3 back the fence and need a bit of luck. So I had the main dangers both up from Sydney. Queen of the Dragons, early 2-year-old form looks all right, has trialled up really well. And Makina, who met Zaya here, I'm not quite sure why it's shorter, apart from maybe they've considered the outside gate a bad thing, but I have not treated it that way as such. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I've gone for Queen of Dragons, like the way it's trialled up for this, and I did think its early form last preparation was pretty good. So I thought it was drawn perfectly in 4 here, and I think it can run a big race. But I was the same as you. I thought Makina and Zia also presented really good chances at double figure odds. Certainly wouldn't be leaving them out. I pretty much came up with the three that you did, interesting enough, but Queen of Dragons on top, Makina and Zia, good chances.
Awesome. We've got a Group 3 mile race, a Pam O'Neill for the girls up next. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, look, another race that sets up to be a really interesting one. Luck in running is going to count a lot. I've gone for Frumos against my better judgment, but I just think this is a much lesser company race than it's shown some form in. I thought the first up run was pretty good on the heavy track. I think it can improve here. Got the McDonald factor here, and I thought at $7 it was going to be a really hard to beat. Hopefully, the Queensland Sunshine might prove the telling factor there. Got it on top. Main danger, TikTok Queen. I think he can run well.
I can see the Frumos being truckloaded and people sort of having a similar opinion to yourself. I've had enough of the horse, so I'm going elsewhere. I'm going to stick to the favourite in the lead up, not with a great deal of confidence, but Street Gossip gets a right run here, down in the weights, jumps straight behind the pace, and I think gets a lovely run. I think that's a decent enough form line. It's up and going in Queensland for me to stick. I think you get a better price than the $3 that's around now. And I might be wrong here, but I was giving Pretty Amazing another chance. I've just treated that last run as a barrier trial. It had Kathy on outside gate, just sort of went out the back and didn't do much. It gets Nash now. I think there'll be a bit more intent, and I think it runs much better than that last start. So around the $8 or $9 mark, it'll be my other best result in this race.
Agree. Good call.
Cool. We've got the 1110 metre Derby McCarthy for the 3-year-olds. Up next, when I started this race and Spacewalk was a top, Spacewalk feels like it's been around for 100 years. I can't believe it's still 3. Anyway, I'm not going with it. So, the couple I'm going to go with, I'm against the favourite here. I'm going to go with Lady Laguna, who I think is going really well at the moment. Gets only just nabbed by Yellow Brick last start. Yellow Brick would be odds on here. Gets an on-pace roll and is going to give you a nice each-way sight. And Richon, who's flying up in Queensland, and both runs this prep have been pretty good. I don't really think this is an overly scary race. The two fancied Queensland runners I might underestimate, but I'm sticking with the two that have come out from the Sydney stables and have already performed and are up and going third up there. So I'm going to play this. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was Golden Boom was a little bit skinny myself as well. At $2, second up here, got the one gate. Yeah, may well win, but it's even money to find out. Not so sure. I've gone for Spacewalk.
Okay.
I think it can run a really good race here. It's got the form again outside of Yellow Brick, only a couple of lengths off it, and Opal Ridge in the listed race at Rose Hill. I thought that was pretty decent form again. McDonald on board. I think the gate's okay, and I think it can run a good race. And as you said, Lady Laguna is up and flying and never runs a bad race. It'll run well again.
You found JMac, similar to last week, you found JMac every race. Are you concerned yet, or you're just treating it as you've got your trust there?
In the last couple, I have, not so much earlier in the day, but race 4 and 5, I did find him. And yeah, just a bit of trust there. I just kind of like the Sydney form or the group form leading in here. And I didn't take JMac as too much of a factor on either of those. I liked them because of what they've been doing.
Beautiful. The Chief De Beers is up next again over the 1110, a listed race. Typical. We've got plenty of Queensland favourites here. Who do you like here, though?
You're going to shit on me again here because I've gone for JMac again here.
That's right. I found him as well. So you can go for it. Tell us why.
Look, first up was a pretty good run at Hawkesbury behind Malkovich. Is a much better quality horse than these. And prior to that, second run last preparation finished third behind Gravinus. So that was in a listed race at Caulfield. Look, its form's pretty good. When you go back and look at some of the races it's been running in, was well fancied up at Doomben behind Emerald Kingdom last time in, trialled well. And I thought $9 for Zethos was a really good price. This isn't a bad field, but the top four in the market are all Queensland horses. And this is one that's got form down south, and that's generally stacks up.
Cool. No, it wasn't cheating at all with J Mac. I just I think don't think he's at the absolute peak of his powers lately, but I found him here as well. Zethus, you've covered off well. The Thorwicks come out of that race and won last week too, who finished alongside Zethus. I agree, this is a bit of a drop in grade, and I love the $10. I was making the danger here, Orbison. I thought it's a fresh horse. It's been kept kept for fresh for this 3 trial tick overs. I feel like this is going to be the goal for it. I think this is a bit of a setup here. I like the fact you're getting $10. It's going to lob straight on the back of Prime Candidate, and I think it's going to give you a great sight. I'm keen to cover both, and I think we'll get a nice result out of it. Excellent. I like that. The feature is the 2,000 metre weight for age Doomben Cup at Group 1 level. I've set out to get Zaaki beat. I might be wrong in my thinking. Have you done similar, or are you just you sticking solid?
I'm sticking solid here. I think Zaaki will win. Won at $1.60 last time. I don't understand why it's at $1.90 here. I think it's similar setup, 2,000 meters, and clear on top pick here. The second favourite is a 3-year-old that is untapped, but again, racing in far lesser company. So I thought $1.90 wasn't the worst price at all. You probably get evens or better. And I still think the main danger is a Tissue at $11. Keen that it can run well again. Got way out of its ground last start and just had too much to do. But I like the way that it kept finding towards the line. I think if they can be a little bit closer here, it can be the main danger.
It's interesting Nash is with a Tissue and not Kovalika. Whether that's a pre-existing booking, he might have been attached to a Tissue, I'm not sure. But I took it as a sign as it might be the main danger. I'm giving Numerian a chance here. I think this second prep in Australia has been pretty good. It was quite good in the Australia Cup, just getting nabbed by Cascadian, and it was good the run before that. And then hit the heavy track in the Queen Elizabeth, where I'm just forgetting that. It jumped straight on Zaaki's back and did win that race here last year up in Queen. That's at Eagle Farm, but up in Queensland. Around $15, I've treated that as a main danger, and a Tissue next best for all the reasons you've covered. For the record, Zaaki is on top. I would probably want a little bit better because I think there's just a bit more pressure here. A little bit better than even money, I should say. 1,350 metre BRC Sprint. I believe this gets you a ticket into the Stradbroke, or the winner a ticket in the Stradbroke. Full field, form from everywhere. And I'm going to play some value here again. You probably can guess where I'm heading, but I'm heading to my girl Excelida again. It's 20s. It didn't go in that mare's race last time out, but it has been up and trialled since in Queensland, and it was a fantastic trial. It's going to camp there just behind the pace, which is there's quite a bit of with Surf Dancer, Lady of Honour, Coal Crusher all up there. And it just gets a nice run and is worth the each-way ticket with Tim Clark on top. I'm going to make the main danger Coal Crusher, who's just an honest on-pacer. Might want a little bit softer, but with the pressure around it, but comes off a nice win, brings Sydney form. Other bits and pieces, including Scalapini, will be up there, but that's the way I've played, or will be playing this. I would be keener on Cardinal Gem, but Doomben Gate 21, knowing the Beg stable's probably going to go back, leaves me a little bit less enthusiastic. But what way have you seen it?
Yeah, it's a shame because Cardinal Gem is one of my horses, and
if it draws a gate,
I'm
much keener.
If it draws a gate, yeah, I'm much keener. It was an outstanding win last start. Yep. It had no right to win that, and love the way it just wound up late and hit the line hard. Yeah, the other thing is, as you say, it sort of got that distance, and now it's it's back a little bit, only 50 meters here, but gonna need a lot of luck in running. I won't let it get under my guard. I will be having something on it. I did think Scalapini is the class horse here, and goes well up north, as we know. It's where it's won a lot of its good races, and it's a couple of runs in last prep were outstanding. I don't think he can go past that. So I had it on top. I got my main dangers, number 21, Clemenceau.
Okay, yep.
At $11. It was given no chance last start. It got shuffled back in the running, got stuck on the fence, and was in the worst part of the going and got beat by a really good horse, but should have finished a lot closer with a better ride. I think he can run well. So I've got Scolopini on top, Clemenceau, and then one of my favourites, Cardinal Gem, Main Dangers.
Awesome. We're going to finish up with the roses, 2,000 meters black type for the 3-year-old fillies. How are we finishing today here?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Renaissance Woman. I tipped it last start at whatever it was, opened about 10s, got back into 6, got back in the field, and I was watching it in the field and just going, this is just going to win. It's just going to kept making ground and winning. I think out to the 2000 now suits extra fitness, just as long as it gets off the fence and doesn't get stuck there and push back and not get a run. So I'm hoping Josh Parr doesn't get tucked away there, just gets in the running line early, and good night.
We know all these 3-year-old fillies are shit with the Sydney forms garbage. For the fillies, we've seen 2 Kiwi fillies come over and just spank the Sydney form. We're getting a Kiwi filly pop up here, Sakura Girl. It's got form through both Pennywicker and Prowess, who both look like fail up winning their Group 1s. It's even it's an each way price. I think it's still $7 at the moment. And you're getting Obi Boston on. He's over to ride it. I think it's a fantastic way to finish the day here. I'm going against all the Australian form. It's on top. Look, Renaissance Woman's in the game, as is Fireburn. They're the class runners. But that's why I'm finishing off. I'll throw Proscenium Arch into my quaddy because it'll be up on pace and comes through the Oaks there. Is a bit of a nutbag, though. Speaking of which, we've got the Doomben quaddy to get through. I'm going to go with, up at Doomben, race 6 is the kickoff there. I'm going to go 4, The Big Goodbye, 6, Zethus, 11, King Kappa, and 14, Orbison. Second leg, Zaaki, 1 Zaaki, 2 Numerian, 9 Palmetto, and 12 A Tissue. Third leg is 1 Scalapini, 2 Dark Destroyer, who turns up here with Nash, 3 Cardinal Gem, 9 Coal Crusher, and 14 Excelida. And we'll come home with 1 Fireburn, 3 Renaissance Woman, 7 Sakura Girl, and 10 Proscenium Arch. Your best in value up at Doomben.
Yeah, my best bet, race 2, number 1, Brigantine. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 6, Zethos.
Yeah, I would have had Brigantine looked pretty obvious to me, but I'm going to make it race 9, number 7, Sakura Girl. I think it runs very well in the fillies grade there. And race 8, number 14, Excelida as my value. Let's head south down to Flemington to get stuck into an interesting winter card. We've got good track racing. The rail moves out 5 metres. All standard Flemington fare there. We kick off with the babies, 1,400 metres. A lot of these came through the lead up a few weeks back, and I'm going to go away from that leader. I'm going to put Riff Rocket on top. The Waller debutant looked a typical Waller 2-year-old. Gave him a start, gave him a beating, and was pretty soft through the line. I think 1,400 metres suits, gets the same run here in the running line. I think it goes 2 from 2. I like the way you're nodding, Beaver. Do you agree?
Yeah, I like the way you've summed that up. $4.50, I think it's a good price.
Yep.
I don't like the lead up form with all of those. I think this is going to be super hard to beat.
Brilliant. We got the 3-year-old fillies up next. 1,400 metre at 78 level. Not particularly fond of the lead up form here either. But what do you like?
Yeah, same. I thought the favourite was a bit skinny, so I've gone around it. I've gone for Lady Jones around the $8 mark, so a bit of each way odds there. It was good first up, nice little win, start off the pace, well backed, and won quite comfortably in the end. So I thought that was good. And back last prep, ran some quite nice races against some okay horses. Ran a second behind River Plate prior to that, beat Sweet Bella, and has some form. Ran okay in a listed race behind Rosetta, and also been close up behind Quaying Try. So I think that looks all right for this.
Does look all right. It's on top for me as well. How easy is this? I don't have anything more to add. I've liked the way it's come back. I don't think this is a particularly strong race. I didn't think much of Grey River, and I didn't think much of the lead up on the wet track. So yeah, on top, we'll move on. The third is 1100 meter benchmark 70, and this is a really nice return point for Sai. Comes through a couple of decent races. Well, comes through. It's been in black type races most of its career, albeit fillies stuff, but came up was quite good up the straight behind Jungle Dream. Put out, save for this trials. It comes here fresh, I should say, and I think it is better than benchmark 70 grade to keep this simple. Main danger, our Heidi, who is flying, gets to the right side of the track and will bob along out in front there. What do you reckon?
No, I'm going Mrs. Chrissy here. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Just thought they should be a bit closer in the market as well. Miss Chrissy was long odds on in its first two race start, and probably a little bit disappointing, but maybe it just wasn't ready. They put it out, they recognised that, and first up, it absolutely brained him. It's Ballarat. Jumped and ran and put 5 lengths on them pretty comfortably. I think this horse might have a bit of ability, and I think we might see it on Saturday. So I'm going to play it. Certainly, Sai hard to beat.
Cool. Now it's been a spruik horse the whole way through. I know that, so we'll see if it can go 2 from 2 this prep. Up next, we've got the 2,000 metres race where I thought Dashing picked itself here. I don't think there's much form here coming from everywhere. It was a nice enough win over 1,800 metres. I don't think 2,000 is going to be too much trouble. A claim for Laura Lafferty, which helps add a little bit. On top for me, I thought if it turns up here, it's been saved for the last 6 weeks, but Samuel Langhorne might be the lightly raced one out to a distance that can put a couple together at a price. But not an overly... this race isn't calling to me, put it that way, Beaver. Is it calling to you?
No, it was quite funny, actually. I'm laughing because it wasn't calling to me, but I've actually liked Dashing on top. I did tip Dashing last start, and Samuel Longhorn was the roughie that I found in the field. I thought it could run a good race. So interesting. Our take on that was almost the same. So Dashing on top, but Samuel is the main danger.
Well, we're either going to be very happy together or commiserating come 6 o'clock Saturday night, but that's fine. Such is life. We've got the benchmark 84 over 2,500 up next. Tell us who we're tipping here.
I've got no idea here, mate. I like this race less than the prior one. Forced to have a pick. I'm going to go Woods. Just thought it was a nice little win last start. Beat French Moon by 4 lengths at Warrnambool. Prior to that, I know Golden Crusader beat it, but willing to forgive that. Not keen, but I thought just backing up that form at this time of year, they get on the right leg and keep going. 52.5, no wait.
I might be too forgiving here, but I'm going with Yarrawonga. It's going to find the front with Linda Meach, which is always a nice thing. It's had a couple of 2,400 metre runs, brings Sydney form here into, which is just completely different form to a lot of these who are tied together, and was looking to it on top. And Golden Crusader runs well again, follows it across and tucks in behind, and perhaps Pesto can improve back onto some dry stuff, getting away from the Sydney bogs that we've had for the last few months. The 1,800 metre benchmark 84 is up next. Altivo was pulled out last week. It's odds on again this week. You sticking fat?
Oh yeah, sticking here. Last start win was a beauty. Paid a French Emperor, who's a good horse, and chased hard. And look, I think backing it up after a week, I think that suggests that it's low flying at the moment, and it'll be winning.
Yep. Same. I'm going to make a case at a price for Independent Road, who just always finds the right spot, always is honest enough in these races. But as you said, it's Altivo might be a level above. But $17 Independent Road, I'm throwing into the trifectas, and we'll see if Convener has any more upside. The 7th is a benchmark 80, 1100 meters, where I'm, well, a couple I like here, but I'm sticking with Reynoso on top. It was just stuck 4 wide outside lead there at Moorfield. It was had no luck at all. Still was brave enough in a finish. Has been kept fresh from that for a week. Was in last week, I believe. Gets a right run. Gate 6, I think, does run well again. Has won for us up the straight before. The main danger is the import here, Booney, who lightly raced and has put in a couple of very nice trials here. Might have some ability. They're the 2 main chances for me. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Reynoso on top for me as well. Was given no chance
Yeah,
last
it
start,
was
4 wide outside the
horrid
lead.
watch.
It had no right to do and stick on like it did. It was impressive, and then before that, ran a length behind what you need. If it brings that form here, it'd be too good for these. Main danger, outback action. It was a nice little win last start, beating Aradonte, who goes okay. Thought that was good. Just a step up in grade, but might run well.
The benchmark 100 comes up next. We've got a mile race here. You liking the favourite?
Yeah, I am actually. Was keen on Pinstripe last start, and that was a perfect run. Gate 8 here looks to get the right run here again, and can't see any reason why it won't win again. Again, looks hard to beat. Logan Street Line was a good run first up behind Coal Crusher, and has some good form lines. It can run well, but clear on top for me, Pinstripe.
Same. Yeah, smashed them last time out to the mile. I think it sets up the same way, doesn't it? So hopefully it does the same job. Flemington shouldn't be an issue. If you're looking for one again at a price, Macram has trialled very well fresh here, is the class horse, and can run into a place, I believe, in the 20s. So I'll, for the sake of this, make that the main danger. Let's wrap up with a benchmark 78 up the straight again. 1200 metres finishes is up. And I'm with the fresh Typhoon Titmus. The form around it reads really well from last preparation. I think it, and back of 2 trials, I think this race looks lovely for it. On top from me, Gunners, a value danger, been saved from the midweeks for this. And obviously Snapped is up and going well enough. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, race 9, Daggy. I've got a similar feeling to you. I think Typhoon Titmus can also run well. As we know that it's got group and listed racing form. Ran second in its last start in a Group 2 against a decent quality field, albeit a long layoff. Sometimes concerns me. I think it can run well first up if it's ready and primed. But also got a liking for Zarafa around the $10 mark. Got the French form here. It's only lightly raced. Hopefully it's done enough work to run a good race here, and won't have to be any champion to win this. I wouldn't be leaving it out.
Awesome. Do you want to, what are you leaving out of your Flemington quaddie?
Yes, race 6, first leg. I'm starting off number 4, Convener, number 11, Altivo. Going to go skinny there and add a few for some of the later races. In race 7, the second leg, I'm going number 1, Zack the Boss, number 5, Renosu, number, where is it? Number 6, Sacred Palace, number 13, Booney, and number 19, Outback Action. In the third leg, which is race 8, I'm going number 3, Pinstriped, number 6, Keats, number 9, Bermudez, and number 13, Logan Street Lion. And to finish the day, I'm going number 1, Typhoon Titmus, number 4, Dazzling Lucy, number 7, Zarafa, number 12, South of Houston, and number 15, Queen of the Green.
Awesome. What's your best in value for progretracing.com.au? Don't forget to check them out for their news, and of course, free tips a few times a week.
My best bet is race 6, number 11, Altivo. And my value bets is race 2, number 5, Lady Jones.
Mate, my best race 8, number 3, Pinstriped. I agree with Lady Jones. So just for something extra, I'll throw in race 6, number 7, Independent Road. Hopefully can run you a place at around the $4 or $5 mark there. So just quickly around the rest of Australia, the Goodwood's on it in Adelaide at Morphettville. Have you had a look at either that or the rest of the Morphettville card quickly?
I have had a look at the rest of the Morphettville, that and the rest of the Morphettville card. I do like
Probably
race.
pick 3 of your tips you're going to throw out here, but go for it.
Race 5, number 9, Foxy Frida.
Yep, 6, 4, and 7, 4.
Race 6, number 4, Captain Joey. And race 7, number 4, Foxycon.
There it is. How good?
How good, mate. They all look very hard to beat to me.
Still backable too, all 3.
And in the goodie, I'm going number 4, Callus.
Yeah, very hard to beat there. It's an interesting looking Group 1 sprint. Can't give you much more than that. I'll probably just have something on Frankie Pino because I'm mad. At Rose Hill, have you had a look at that as well? We're up
I
here.
have had a look at Rose Hill. I didn't have a lot there, but I did like race 6, number 5, Redina. I thought it could be super hard to beat. And race 8, number 2, Democracy Manifest.
I'm going to go against you in that race 6, number 7, Token Capitalist Flying. And race 5, number 4, one of yours, Starry Ann, pops up in an average staying race there. I think it can run very well around the $5.
Sure can.
So good betting day. Plenty going on there. It's been Show Us Your Tips. Thanks for tuning in. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your thoughts. We're also available on Spotify at Show Us Your Tips, iTunes, podcasts, all that sort of good stuff. Thank you, Beaver. We'll be back Wednesday morning for our midweek preview. Take care, guys. Good punting this weekend, and we'll talk soon.